morning. My name is Marshall Mermell, and I represent Advanced Resilient Technology on the Isle of Man. It was incorporated in January 2nd, 2013, and it was set up purposely to be on the Isle of Man, and I'll go through that in a bit. What we are all about are biomass opportunities. We take organic wastes and turn them into different types of products. Everything from the three basic products are heat, electricity, and biochar. I'll go into biochar. Not everybody knows about biochar. We usually use gasification technology and modern heat engines to create the electricity, the heat, and biochar. Now, we develop solutions that produce high-efficiency energy and valuable agricultural products and industrial products. And we completely eliminate waste. And we do it in a way that's 100% environmentally sustainable. And we also provide carbon sequestration in our process, meaning we sequester the carbon out of the atmosphere. Our wholly owned subsidiaries work with clients around the world to acquire and deploy the use of our technology. That's who we are. As I said, we're an Isle of Man based business, and we have a sustained commitment to developing long-term relationships and protection. So we are using the services of a company called ICAP, which is Integrated Capabilities Group. Their qualified team helps establish, manage, and administer corporate services on the Isle of Man. And one of the things that I'd like to sort of follow up on what Ken talked about is IP. Now, intellectual property today has been known, at least in Silicon Valley, where I have another office, it's been known to say that IP is a license to steal someone else's technology. I've seen that happen too many times. One of the things that we feel about the Isle of Man is that it creates a level playing field, so that even if a large corporation would try to take our technology or litigate against us, it would be very difficult for them to do that on the Isle of Man. I have a lot of experience in other venture development projects in the United States, and I've seen several technologies that have been stolen. One is a fellow by the name of Jerry Lito, who invented the leather gloves that do touchscreen gloves, and they don't have silver threads in them, and he invented that stuff, and he spent $300,000 US to protect his IP. If you don't protect your IP, you lose it. So it's really important not just to have the ability to have the IP, but you also have to protect it. And being on the Isle of Man gives us a competitive advantage in that area. And of course, as Ken said, the government is independent with its own legislature, judiciary, and administration. And of course, there's also the issue of the fiscal and financial advantages working with pre-tax capital, as we are doing. The business that we're in, which is turning organic waste into revenues, is done through a process of taking waste, gasifying it in a process that is a little different than what most people have out there. We have IP on that. And we also have IP on both an internal combustion engine and an external combustion engine to generate the electricity that is required around the world. Right now we have not only in the Isle of Man business prospects that we're doing there, we're going to be putting up a system in the Isle of Man, but we're also doing one in the UK in Kent, one in Turkey, and one in Israel. The Turkey, UK, and Israel have renewable obligation laws. Those are laws that subsidize the payment of electricity. And in the UK, it also subsidizes the payment of heat if you sell it. And that pays for the capital expenditures on the projects. In the Isle of Man, that doesn't exist. But we are pretty confident that our project in the Isle of Man, as Ken said, it's a great venue to try something small and prototype it and get it up and running. When we're prototyping, we're not just prototyping our technology, we're prototyping our entire business model. So what we're doing there is we're going to be putting in place a system that we believe will generate at least a 20% return on investment over 5 years without any subsidies in purely private sector. So that's really a critical component. The way we're operating right now, we have 4 levels of investors. In the audience is one of our latest investors who also became our general manager, Luc Rambeau from Belgium. And we have 2 Isle of Man investors, so we're not just a brass plate, we are a real company in Isle of Man doing work in Isle of Man. And we also have a desire to create a center of excellence in the Isle of Man for biomass and renewable energy. One of the things that we're going to be doing as we move forward in Isle of Man is we fund these projects by project investment. And that's really critical because what it does is it allows the investor to get a greater return on investment on projects and on their investments. So some of the new opportunities, we have what we call an individual stakeholder approach, and a unified Isle of Man-wide approach, and a multiple stakeholders that work together. So we're pretty flexible. We can work any which way that needs to be done in the Isle of Man or in any other country around the world. These are some of the biomass projects that we're currently working on. As I said, we can take municipal sludge and we can turn that into energy and biochar. Now I'm going to explain a little bit about biochar. Biochar is an organic matter that's carbon, and it's highly valuable. It can be turned into another form of material known as activated carbon. And activated carbon is a material that is typically used in wastewater treatment plants. If you've heard about, I'm sure here in the UK there's a controversy about fracking or hydrofraction. So it's used in the United States to adsorb the solvents that are used in the fracturing process, the fracking process. And it's extremely valuable to these people. We know that we can get up to $1 a pound. That's like $2,200 per metric ton for that material. Another process that we're looking at on the Isle of Man is taking seaweed and converting it into energy, biochar, and other valuable products. There's a company in California, in Hollywood, California, this woman-owned company, and what she does is she looks for seaweed extracts to create botanicals and nutraceuticals, and she sells them to Hollywood stars and Hollywood wannabe stars. It's quite interesting, especially when you buy a little vial of it for $200. So it's quite valuable there. So we can offer this woman and other people like her these materials from the seaweed that washes up on Douglas Beach. So the seaweed that washes up there is quite problematic. If it's left to rot there, then you have flies and smells. So right now, the island, the borough of Douglas, pushes it back into the sea and sends it out of the sea towards Ireland. Some people think that it's nothing against the Irish, but that's what they do. One of the other things that's interesting about the seaweed is that there's a myth that people think that the seaweed keeps getting, it's the same seaweed washing up on the shore and just pushing it out and coming back. It's not true. We found out from scientific research here in the UK and also in the Isle of Man that this seaweed proliferates on the bottom of the seabed and keeps growing and keeps coming up. And because of the high tidal force, it keeps coming up on the beach, and they have to keep pushing it out. Our company plans on taking that seaweed, if possible, if there's enough volume there. We believe there is. And we can dry it and take what's left over, the liquids, and turn that into those nutraceuticals and sell them in the market. And there's other feedstocks from waste that we can process. Sawdust, wood stock feed that needs to be eliminated, diseased trees in different parts of the world. On the Isle of Man, we know that we're looking at, with DEFA, to find out if we can take their diseased trees and the diseased bark and and we'll gasify that and turn that into energy, biochar, and heat. And of course, there's animal and plant waste that are converted as well. We're working with the clients to solve other waste problems, for example, converting discarded whey into useful products. That's not necessarily a same process, but that's because we define ourselves not by our knack, not by what we do physically, but we define our company by what we believe we can contribute and bring to the world in terms of taking waste and turning it into useful products. Our concept is there is no more waste. For the most part, all organic waste can become products. We're going to be doing that in the future. Our business model is a superb value business model. That means we provide high value technology at a reasonable cost. We measure outcomes through a whole life method financially. We manage projects to share in the revenue produced through biochar and other co-products generated with our clients. So what we do is we sell at a cost plus approach, and we share the revenue with our clients, and we bring the biochar to market throughout the world. There's a lot of biomass opportunities, there's outcomes, and our approach is a risk mitigated approach. It's not just bringing technology to market, that's one thing. But in order for our technology to be adopted worldwide, and we're starting out at the beginning of our process, in order for the adoption to occur, we need to think about risk mitigation, and we do that several ways. One of the ways we do that is we bring insurance. There's only, I don't know if you know this, but there are probably only 3 major insurance companies. One is the Lloyd's of London-backed broker that we work with that does risk mitigation through insurance on projects. Everything from insuring the biomass, insuring the biochar, insuring the production, insuring the equipment, everything in the process at a very reasonable rate. Some of the other things that we're doing here on the Isle of Man, and also here in the UK, is creating quality jobs. Our process generates anywhere from 5 to 6 megawatts of energy, small distributed system, close to the biomass. So it's unlike other systems. There's a big one in Tampa, Florida, that's about 60 megawatts, not our system. But if you think about it, if they're trucking all this biomass into it, and how they do that, using diesel fuel to do it, it's kind of counterproductive. And when you do the math, it really doesn't make sense, and it's not profitable at the end of the day. Luke and I just came back from Austria, and we saw a system there that is 60 million euros and generates 2 megawatts of energy. It was funded by the government. Our process is funded privately, and it's to create a return on investment, but at the same time improve quality jobs and quality of life to our constituents. One of the things that we're able to do, and I mentioned this earlier, is to reduce CO2 emissions. And with that, you can get carbon credits, and it's a process of carbon sequestration. And one of the things that we're very proud of is that behaviors in the marketplace change when you bring this kind of technology to bear, because there's no more waste. It's all products. And again, I'm just going to touch on the last element. We're going to set up a biochar center for excellence in the Isle of Man, where we believe that people will come from all over the world to see the latest technologies and be a venue to create opportunities throughout the world. So one of the things that we talk about generally in discussion, you can do this at the end, but one of the questions we always ask are, what are your waste elimination and sustainability challenges? What are the costs, budget limitations, and resource constraints? What kind of return on investment is the investor looking for? What kind of disposal space is required? Can we generate sustainable energy? Can we generate carbon sequestration? What are the environmental impacts? And what are some of the other issues that are relevant to this process? So that's